Oh,
Oh, okay,
oh,
okay. I think we're live. I don't know how long
oh,
it's gonna take me.
oh.
Okay. I think we're live. Nope, there we go. Yep, we're live. Sorry about that. I don't know how long it's gonna take me running OBS to actually get the hang of this, but you know what? We're here. Um, so, as we do our introductions, I'm going to request that our dear audience, let us know that everybody is audible. Um, anyway, let's get started. Uh, Hi, folks. Welcome to Does Anyone Remember Bob, a special October miniseries by Standing Stones Productions, with special guests Izzy of Hope's Hearth and Nichelle, who is unfortunately not going to be joining us today, but she will soon.
Waves at my microphone as if everyone can see me.
Today we are playing the titular game Does Anyone Remember Bob, a 200-word RPG by Simon Gottwald. This is a game of body horror and rumors. Most of you joined the support group when the first symptoms emerged. Others waited a lot longer. Some of you are here for the first time. Some have been coming for months. All of you had heard stories about the illness long before you were infected, how it spreads, the growths, the deformations, the camps. But none of you know which stories are true and which ones are just rumors. You still don't know for sure. There is no cure. The transformation is inevitable. It will only get worse. You will be taken away. That's what they say. You're hiding your infection from your relatives and friends. This group is the only place where you can talk freely about it, about what you've heard, about what you've seen, about what you experience. I'm August, and you can find me at Harpydora on Twitter, and my pronouns are they them. Uh, Playing with me today, we have uh, clockwise order is that way. We have Danielle.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I use she, her, they pronouns, and you can find me on the internet at Redtail Talk 90.
We also have Jade.
Hi, hello, I'm Jade. You can find me most places on the internet at jadeoxydrose. I use they, them pronouns.
We have Izzy.
Hi, I'm Izzy. You can find me on Twitter at LaShawnDeer and Tumblr at Lotsadeer, and I use CCR pronouns.
And last but certainly not least, we have Anya.
Hey, I'm Anya. I'm chronically not on Twitter, but you can find me on Discord. I'm not giving out my Discord handle. Just jump in our chats.
Packbats says that August, you're kind of quiet.
Yeah, that's a chronic issue. I'm gonna try to talk more loudly. I don't know. I've tried a half a billion things to fix this, and none of it works. I think it's just my computer. 'Cause I have myself cranked as far as I'll go. Um, but I will try my best. Um, anyway, sorry about that. Our lines, which are things we're fine with addressing. Oh, our lines, which are things we absolutely do not want to see, are racism, sexism, transphobia or homophobia, violence against children and non-sapient animals, domestic violence or intimate partner violence, emotional abuse, sexual assault, and police violence. Our veils, which are things we're fine with addressing but will just fade to black on, are self-harm, graphic depictions of violence, steamy situations, hospitalization, and suicidal thoughts/ideation. Content warnings for this game include ableism, mental illness such as depression, body horror, plagues and pandemics, illness, eugenics, and possible mentions of alcohol/drug use. Now that we've got all that, let's convene our support meeting. Um, and since I'm reading the intro, I guess I'll go first. We see a kind of short young man with pink hair, pink undercut, looks kind of fresh-faced, clean-shaven, wearing sunglasses as he walks into the room, and this is Precious. Um, he, since he's the first to arrive, he starts making the coffee, and kind of fidgets impatiently while he's waiting for it to percolate. So who
I
arrives next?
I think my character will come in next, and it's not too long after Precious gets in, but probably after Precious starts setting up like coffee and things like that. An older like a older gentleman in like his late 50s, early 60s, black man with like gray dreads, like silvery gray dreads, with some black in there, but mostly like the silvery gray. Uh, Glasses. He's got a cane that looks like it's seen some use. It's like hardwood, polished over the years. Wearing a Hawaiian shirt, um, cargo shorts, and those like like the Velcro sandals, but with white socks. Like comes in. I don't know if this is like in another basement or like it was last year, or if this is like something a different building. But I imagine there's like stairs he has to like take a slow walk down. Um, before like getting to the main floor. And giving Precious like a very kind smile. He's a little hunched over from like using the cane. Um, and says, "Oh, hello there."
Hey, glad you can find the place. I know this isn't where we normally meet, but I'm glad you can make it. Flashes a
It
smile.
took me a few minutes, but I found it eventually. The good thing about being my age is nobody questions you when you're just wandering confused down the sidewalk. He like grins. Makes his way over to like a chair and settles into it with like a. It's not like a groan, but it's when you're using a cane, you have chronic pain, and you set down into a chair, and it's like I can sit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think I don't know if this is necessarily a basement, but there are stairs involved getting here for sure. Um who arrives next?
I certainly can. So while you two are talking, the door opens and kind of like slams into the wall, and there's this gangly pink-haired boy who like flinches, like, "Oh, sorry. Uh, hey," and he's kind of out of breath. I think he might be new here. So this is Allie Rayner. No idea if that's his legal name or not. He doesn't intend to really talk about that.
Mezu like kind of starts when the door slams open and like looks back over his shoulder, but gives Ali like a smile. And it's like, "You're all right."
Precious gives Allie finger guns. Hey, twinsies.
Uh, the Pink Hair Club.
Young whippersnappers with your colored hair. But this is said totally teasing.
I mean, you could join us. One of us. One of us.
I don't know.
I have some great die recommendations.
I think the silver locks are distinguished. At least as distinguished as I can get as he gestures to his outfit.
So Jade, who is later to this meeting?
You can have the honor this time if you would like.
Okay.
I'm just imagining based on that. I'm imagining your two characters standing outside the door going, after you. No, after you. No, after you.
No, I insist after you.
So different characters, maybe.
I know.
I think while all the hair chatter is going on. The door does sort of swing open. It's very quiet. It's the figure like shoulder length, blue black hair and a leather jacket. Heads over straight to the coffee and fixes himself a cup and just sort of like raises an eyebrow and is just like, I thought this was where we came to avoid the cults. And just starts sipping coffee. This is Morden. He's got that look to him of somebody that's could be on a good day looking like he's in his late 20s, on a bad day or into his 40s. Today's an okay day. For those people not used to my bullshit, imagine, if you will, like sort of a Middle Eastern Joey Beatty, and you've got what Morden looks like. So, like the dark eyes, dark hair, that sort of light brown skin, but facial features, demeanor, Joey Beatty.
I so appreciate the chatter making you almost say bird shit instead of bullshit.
Yes, thank you for that. But we're talking about birds. Definitely threw me off.
This is a bird.
Thank
singing
you for
Eternal
highlighting
segment,
it for
too.
posterity, Anya. I really
You're
appreciate
you're
you.
welcome. Look, I think it would be great.
um, Precious like gives Morden a wink and is just like, you could be one of us too.
I have tried pink hair. Never again.
Well, it would take a lot of bleach on your hair. That could be dangerous.
Let's just say my 20s were a bad time.
What is a
sort of
support
gives
group
off.
if not a cult?
Doesn't
Well, I'm
respond to
gonna
that.
leave. Bye, guys. I'm gonna go.
But Morden will sit down next to Precious. I imagine those two maybe sort of, because this isn't Morden's first time at one of these meetings, even if it's the first meeting at this new spot. So
Yeah, this isn't Precious's first rodeo either, so I think, it's entirely possible that they've seen each other even though they may not have interacted very much at whatever previous meeting place we had.
sure.
I didn't say it, but I do think that this is Mezu's first time at one of these meetings. So he's a new face.
And so last to arrive today is Levi, who comes in probably a good 5 minutes late. And he carries himself with the air of a person who is purposefully trying to be cool about everything.
This is fine. Room on
Like,
fire.
he's got just like a plain t-shirt and a leather jacket over it and ripped jeans. And he has kind of long black hair that is heavily graying, that he's kind of half tied up in a man bun situation. Light brown skin, bearded. And he's like, he walks in with like his hands in his jeans pockets, kind of like slouched, sneaking around the side of the room to an open chair, and kind of just like slides into the chair as if he's been there the whole time. And
Please let it be the chair next to Mezu.
Sure.
Yes, I have a plan.
And he doesn't call any attention to himself. This is the first time that he's ever been to one of these. And he looks, to anyone, probably especially Morden, but to most people in the room probably, he looks extremely uncomfortable and just trying really, really hard to hide that.
Mezu is going to, after like Levi gets like settled in the chair, just kind of lean over slightly, hold his hand out to Levi, and there is a Werther's in it.
Oh.
Oh, perfect.
he he looks at the offered candy and then looks back up at Mezu and then
Mezu's
looks
not
down again.
looking at Levi. He's like
And-
looking ahead. He's got this like playful smile on his face as he's like watching Morton and Precious interact with each other.
Just very slowly reaches out and takes the Werther's and
As it just settles back, both hands on the head of his cane.
All right. Precious like taps. So he like raises his cup of coffee and like taps on the side of it as though he were tapping on like a piece of fine crystal to get everybody's attention. And he's like, all right, so new space, fresh start. Let's go with introductions. You all know why we're here. You can give as much or as little as you want. This is a safe space for whatever you want to bring. I mean, you're here for a reason, so we can talk about that reason. We don't have to, but why don't we start with you? And points to Morden.
Gee, thank you, Precious.
Love ya.
So,
Mm-mm.
so yeah, I'm Morden. I've been coming to these for a hot minute now. I started coming with a friend. He's not in town anymore. He's one of those types that always needs to be helping people out. It's one of the best and worst things about him. But given the escalation with the vans doing their thing, he decided he'd be more useful elsewhere. But by the time he was heading off, things had started to go a bit weird for me anyway. So, still here. Yeah. Don't really know what there is to say without getting into details, and I don't know if I want to do that. And yeah, first timers. So yeah, this is me.
All right.
And I think anyone that sat close enough to Morden would see that his eyes are not just like the dark of just like somebody with that sort of natural coloring. Like his irises are black. There is no distinction between color-wise between his pupils and his irises. And much like the way like some kind of animals, the iris takes up nearly the entire eye. There's very little sclera visible.
Precious, like picking up on Morden's kind of somberness, nods and says, "All right, thank you, Morden. How about you, twinsy friend?"
Hey, hi, I'm new, brand new. I've never done this before. I'm Allie. I guess for all intents and purposes of this, I'm Allie. Uh, I I started feeling things, and it's unpredictable, and I don't know. I just thought this could help.
Well, we're here to help each other. Help each other get through this. So, you've come to the right place. And how about you, sir? Points to Mezu.
Mezu like sits up a little bit straighter, clears his throat, like makes a little bit of a show of it in that like goofy kind of like dad grandpa way. Before he introduces himself, he has a much deeper and gruffer voice than I do. It says, "I'm Mezu. This is my first time at one of these. I heard about all y'all through the grapevine and figured I should start coming as things have started getting, as the youngsters have already said, weird. And I figured having other people to talk about it with wouldn't hurt."
Yeah, it definitely helps. And how about our latecomer friend? Don't think I didn't notice.
Levi flips him off.
And
Nice to meet you too.
Precious just winks back.
And he kind of slouches down even further in his chair. He's practically horizontal at this point. It's kind of impressive. And he unwraps the Werthers and sticks it in his mouth. And he says, "Levi, I'm here mostly to appease my partner, who is extremely worried." And that's all he says.
Mezu nods knowingly.
And I'm Precious. I've been coming to these meetings for a while. Our last group kind of dissolved, reasons we don't want to talk about right now. And I'm gonna be open with y'all. I'm gonna open up my heart so you can see that I'm trustworthy. So, and Precious takes off his sunglasses, and in contrast to Morden, his eyes are completely white, and there's like wrinkling around the corners that belies his young looking face. And he says, "This started 6 months ago. I started seeing things that people said weren't there, but turns out I'm kind of a Cassandra. I can see the infection before it starts. I can see the infection when it's taking hold, and sometimes I think I can see what might be causing the infection, but there's no way to tell. But it's kind of comforting to know that there are people around that believe me when I say that stuff is going on, and I that's me. That's why I'm here. I'm here to be around people who know that something's up. It helps a lot." And he puts his sunglasses back on.
I want to describe something
Yeah.
that like Precious would be seeing.
Oh, yes.
Because I actually forgot that this is what you decided Precious's thing was gonna be.
Yeah,
I
go
think
for it.
Precious can see what looks like it might be a sword hanging above like Mezu, as though it were precariously on a thin strand and could snap and fall. It's not there, it's not like actually there, but that's just what Precious sees.
Yeah, I think at this point Precious has learned better than to actually describe everything that he's seeing, but he's definitely seen that and has taken note. So, like I said, that's me. If you want to ask any questions about how this normally goes, since we got a lot of new folks here, you know, let me know. Otherwise, we can just go around the table. Well, metaphorically, I know there's not a table here, but we can go around the room and talk about anything you want to, anything you've heard, anything that's going on with you. Um, looks pointedly at Levi. You don't have to talk if you don't want to, but I don't know why you'd be here if you didn't want to at least say something.
In the quiet, before anyone sort of volunteers to speak, Warden does reach into a pocket and just like chucks a bottle of eye drops to Precious.
Yeah, Precious manages to catch it in both hands, not like, almost fumbles it a little, but does catch it, and he says thanks.
Yeah, no worries.
So you know what's wrong, what's happening with you. How do I find out what's happening with me?
I mean, what's been going on, Twinsy?
It's random and it's pain like none I've felt. It's always so bad, and it's either physical or emotional, but there's never any physical signs from it. It's unpredictable.
I mean, I can look at you and tell you what I see, but I don't know if that'll be any help, but you know, at least I can tell you that this you're not making it up. Like it's not part of your, it's not just in your head. I can see it. It's real.
See it.
Yeah, that's what I do. I can see the infection, and like I said, I'm kind of a Cassandra. Nobody believed me up until I started coming to these meetings.
So you can see it, but don't know what it is.
I don't think
No,
anybody knows what the infection is.
Or what causes it.
I mean, there's a million theories about it, but well, nobody wants to, or nobody's publicly talking about trying to figure it out. They're just trying to hide it because they don't understand it.
It's getting harder and harder to hide this.
Mm.
not gonna stop him from trying to make people disappear.
Nope.
I think this is news to Allie. Like, I'm sorry, disappear.
How old does Allie look?
Early
I mean,
20s.
I appreciate. I was gonna say, but also that's like baby trans mask face, right? Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I somehow made the most trans looking character ever. Like I did it. Here he is, he's beautiful.
It be like that
he's
sometimes.
perfect.
Yeah.
I think Morden just looks at him and looks kind of sad.
Oh.
And it's just like, oh, kid. Yeah, no, when if the infection gets you in a way that people can see, that you can't hide, then big old van or truck or whatever shows up at your house one day and they take you away.
I see. Okay.
This Measure shifts in his chair. It like squeaks a little bit because it's just a fucking foldable chair. And he like looks at Allie sympathetically. It's just what the government does. Just what they do. They've been doing it since I was your age, and they'll keep doing it
I mean, some
for
people say
anything.
like they're helping people. Like there's big hospitals. Yeah, well, no, I don't believe it either. But nobody's come back yet.
Yeah.
So
Great. Great.
That's why
Great.
these
that's
meetings
why
move, right? Looks at Precious and Morden.
part of it.
Yeah. Sometimes we get made, sometimes we get pushed out, sometimes we get scattered, and we do the best we can, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate it that y'all are here, that this is here, and he like gestures with one hand. I got
Yeah.
kind of poked into coming here. Like, I was thinking about it already, but got poked into coming here by somebody close to me when and he I think hesitates and then gestures. There's like a scar across his nose. He like gestures at it because it looks like it's a newly healed scar. Um when my old wounds started acting up in ways that they really shouldn't. This scar here is about 20 years old.
Doesn't look a day over 2.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Listen, this doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, Allie. It it's not all bad, you know. You meet really cool people.
Yeah.
You know, so the coffee here isn't as shitty as the coffee at the old place where we used to meet. I think Morden can agree with me here.
Yeah. Shit ton cheaper than Starbucks too.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I I appreciate it. Uh and I think Allie will like excuse himself to get up and go get some coffee. I don't think anyone notices any physical signs on Allie. There's nothing to show what he's going through.
Mm-hmm. And on that note about it not being all doom and gloom, would anybody like a Werther's? He like pulls like a handful out of like one of his like cargo short pockets and just holds it out. And he's like
You
smiling.
like made by an advertising company. Because you have to tell us.
It's entrapment if you don't tell us.
Wait,
Yeah.
Jade, can
Like,
you repeat what you said? The first bit? I didn't hear it.
were you made by an advertising company?
Oh. No, I just
Are you in the
oh.
pocket of Big Werther's?
If anything, Big Werther's is gonna be in my pocket. And he just grins.
Precious snorts.
On the way back to his seat, Allie will grab one and like, do you have any more?
I have plenty.
Allie will take as many as you'll give him.
I think Mezu like pulls out like what it turns out is actually in his cargo pocket is like an entire bag of Werthers. He like
Oh.
pulls the bag out and like tips like a bunch of them into Allie's hand
Oh.
and then puts the bag back in his pocket.
I feel like Allie is basically that character in an anime that is always eating candy, but like their frame never changes. And so Allie says thanks and like drops a couple in his coffee to like add that flavor in there.
Yeah. He like Mezu then like offers some to Precious and Morden.
Morton waves it off politely, but
Yeah.
Precious takes one and is just like, man, I haven't had one of these in ooh, before all this happened at the very least.
Wouldn't be a good grandpa, and he like winks, if I didn't have grandpa candy on me.
I find it comforting. Thank you for having the grandpa candy.
Of course. It helps to have some kind of comfort in these kinds of situations. I used to keep sweets on me back in the war, and he just says the war, doesn't mention a specific one, just says the war because nebulous America. I used to keep sweets on me back in the war, and it helped keep my troops calm. So figure in times like this helps keep other people calm.
Very nice.
does Morden say this thing that I am thinking to break tension and also just be Morden?
Please.
And no, I'd rather suck on something else to calm me down.
Wow.
That's just personal preference.
Wow.
I think Mezu like throws his head back and does like a deep chest laugh. And
Precious.
then like
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Then he just looks at Morden and says, I like you.
Precious like makes a production of rolling his eyes and is just like, this isn't that kind of group. That group meets on Sundays.
Oh
Or,
my god.
no.
You
Oh
don't
wait,
need
no.
to tell me when that group meets.
Wait, no. We're meeting on Sundays. That group meets on Fridays down the hall. And I mean, there are plenty of other people who might not know when that group meets, so I just figured I'd put that out there, but that's not this group, sir.
I thought it met on Wednesdays in the church
Sammy?
basement.
No, that's
Allie is
the
furiously jotting notes.
that's the satanic orgies.
I see. I got them confused for a second. Thank you.
Scribble, scribble. Satanic orgy.
Oh, bless your heart, Allie. We're joking. We're joking,
Did
honey.
Did I make another cinnamon roll? God damn it.
Unfortunately, Anya, I think you're that's just your proclivity is cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
Cinnamon rolls with emotional problems.
Oh.
We love them dearly. This is not a condemnation.
Anyways.
So, Danielle, I know Levi's probably feeling really awkward and stuff, but I do want to make sure that he has ample room to jump in whenever you want.
I think during all of this, he's been looking just like more and more uncomfortable. And there's like a bit of a lull in the conversation. And he kind of like slaps his knees and stands up and he says, I think I might I think I might be in the wrong group. Or not necessarily. I did come looking for you, but I don't think that I fit here. Thank you for this. And he starts like walking backwards to the door.
If I've like offended you, I am legitimately sorry. I know I seem like I'm taking the piss, but that is just sort of how I talk.
No,
I'm
y'all are wonderful.
I'm a lot.
You all seem like great people. Might check out the Satanic Orgy on Wednesday. However, I see, like, I'm just having like these chest pains, and it's really not. And he kind of like gestures at Precious. It's really not. You know. I I I really just came here because my partner was worried when the doctor didn't find anything on the MRI. But like, it's fine. It's fine.
What kind of chest pains?
Achy ones.
What does it feel like? Does it feel like someone has stabbed into you, or like something is trying to push out? Mizu's like now dead serious.
He kind of leans against the door jamb, because he hasn't given up his escape route. And he like rubs at his sternum, and he says, "No, I've been stabbed. It's not that." It's
One just nods like word. Yeah.
Mizu
Rough out
also
there, buddy.
nodding.
Allie looking horrified.
Allie, the only one who's never been stabbed.
Just horrified that this is so common.
Listen, kid, when you've been in a war.
That's fair.
One's just an asshole.
That's it.
You're really good at pissing people off.
It feels like I'm. And he kind of like stops, and everyone can tell that he's like, the next words on the tip of his tongue are like, "No, don't worry about it. It's nothing." And then he kind of like takes in the group again, rolls the Werthers around in his mouth. Feels like being torn in two.
Mizu nodding. I think this is the place where you need to be. Unfortunately. I wish it wasn't. But and he like I don't think Mizu like holds his hand out for like Levi to come too, because that seems like it would just scare Levi off. But he like nods to the chair that he was sitting in.
I think he goes to make himself a cup of coffee instead. And just like takes his time doing that. But not sitting down yet.
To reference the question that August asked you in the chat, what does Precious see?
Oh, I didn't see that question. Precious sees it's like it's like this glittering um, dust or even glitter or um, like powder, but it's like kind of golden and shimmery. That's like floating around him
Squints at
and
you.
coalesce like at where his chest is. Um, there's like a giant crack that his face down disappearing underneath his shirt, as if he's like a porcelain doll that has been cracked.
Damn it, Danielle. I'm gonna need fan fiction of Levi and his partner who's not Stede Bonnet.
Gosh.
Don't look directly at the inspiration.
I do have some really good fic recs for you, though.
Of course you do.
Beautiful.
I think Precious is just like looking very intently at Levi as he takes this all in, and he says, "If I try to talk to you, I don't want to Cassandra you into staying. But if at any point you think you can believe me, you know where to find us. Also, if you get bored of the satanic orgy or you really don't have anything else you want to do with a Sunday afternoon."
I think at that point, Allie is going to look confused. Like, y'all keep referencing Cassandra.
Oh,
Great
haven't you
myth.
haven't you seen the meme with Apollo with the dodgeball about to gift prophecy to somebody, and then, nobody believes the prophet and
How are you so terminally online? I swear.
0% it would seem.
Mezu like gives
That-
Precious like a weird look, like I knew you were referencing myth, but that is the weirdest pull I have ever heard.
So, if you're less terminally online than our pink-haired friend, gesturing at Precious, Cassandra,
Yeah.
as the myths goes, was a young woman cursed with the gift of prophecy. Well, no, she was given the gift of prophecy, and then she refused to fuck the god that gave it to her, and so he cursed her never to be believed because Apollo was a cunt.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah. So she likes in like the whole Helena Troy, wooden horse, all that. It's all part of that story. Um, but yeah, Cassandra's whole thing is like, yeah, nah, she told the truth because she knew what was coming and nobody believed her.
I see.
it just helped me cope when people didn't believe me when I said things were going on, and they said that I had a mental illness, and I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not drinking that depresso espresso here, but that's not what's going on with this, and he waves his hand in front of his face.
I see. Sorry to interrupt.
Don't interrupt shit. You're fine.
Speaking of depresso espresso, Levi, would you mind terribly bringing me a cup of coffee?
Yeah, sure. Sugar, cream.
Yes, please.
Okay. The coffee he brings you is extremely fucking sweet.
Fucking Mezu just drinks it. An old man who gives out candy, you think he's not gonna drink it? He like thanks Levi, and sips the coffee, seems to like consider it, and then nods like, "Thank you."
And he kind of like perches on the edge of the chair.
Levi realizes that he's being looked at by Morden because Morden is trying to figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
And Danielle, I'll leave this open to you as if this is true of this version of Levi, but definitely has a face of, I feel like I know you from somewhere.
Yeah. uh I feel like Levi gets this kind of look not infrequently.
Yeah.
And he kind of just like is not making eye contact.
You see, it would have been less suspicious if you'd made eye contact. And looks away, just like, because, like, Mon's a dick, but he's not expressly trying to make Levi uncomfortable. Definitely has put a couple of things together, though. Just like, mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mezu
actually,
taking
you know that it's I think it's a meme. It's from The Office where Steve Carell's like has a one hand up to hide what he's whispering to somebody else. And like Maud looks at Precious and he's just like fucking famous.
I think Precious like does one of those just like kind of quit it motions and is actually looking
Mhm.
serious. Like I don't know if Morden can read the look that Precious is giving him, but it's a look that
Probably.
says it's a look that's like we can't do that here.
It's just like I know, just it caught me by surprise. Is
in the
all.
midst of all of this like conversating through like facial expression. Mezu takes like a purposefully loud sip of coffee, smacks his lips, and then says, "So, how's everybody's home lives right now?" Like looking around at everybody.
My my dorm roommate just thinks I get a lot of back spasms.
Well, I've got a pet cactus who has yet to ask me any questions about the sunglasses inside, so I'm doing pretty great. Spoiler alert, Precious does not look like he's doing pretty great.
Narrator voice.
Narrator voice. He was in fact not doing great.
Well, like I said, one of the only real people in my life left a few months ago to go help people dealing with this shit. And the other one I haven't seen in over a year. And I really hope that that's because they're laying low somewhere. So I've been spending a lot of time at the satanic orgies to feel something.
Mezu
Oh my.
nodding knowingly, as if this is like not a joke.
This is the first time that Levi has smiled. And he kind of like does a half shrug, because he doesn't want to rub it in everybody else's face. Um, nah, things are good there.
I'm glad that they're. If you've got people, you've got people, and if you don't, you've got us.
Hey, what about you, old timer?
He like shrugs one shoulder as he like shifts the cane from one hand to another, leaning back in his chair. Tending my garden. I live alone. Just tending my garden. But I have someone who comes by to see me pretty frequently. He was concerned that some of my wounds seem to be acting up. Don't call me out like this again.
For the listeners at home, I have confirmed that my suspicions of who visits Mezu are correct. So
Yeah, listen.
if it comes up in the story, it'll come up in the story. But...
Yeah, it'll come up. But yes, it is.
Okay.
It is a person.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I
'cause-
was hoping that.
Yes. He wanted me to come and talk to folks, get at least people that I can talk to about this, see if anybody else was experiencing things. So I'm saying taken care of makes me sound more infirm than I am, but I'm being taken care of. Nobody's bothered me yet, besides nosy neighbors.
Oh,
Hey, you got a phone? Looking at Mezu.
I do, in fact, have a phone. He pulls out, like, it's an
How
older
much
model.
of a brick?
It's a what?
How much of a brick are we talking about here?
Oh, it's actually, like, not too much of a brick. It's maybe, like, 5 years out of date. So, you know, but it's not an iPhone. Well, it's a Nokia smartphone. Why not?
Yeah.
Those exist.
Do
So,
they make those?
yes.
What?
Yeah, they're sturdy.
Well,
but
they're
so yeah,
Nokias. They better be.
yeah, it's a Nokia
Yeah.
smartphone. A few years out of date, but still like fairly new. I don't know if that surprises people or not.
May I? Holds out a hand.
Yeah, and he like passes the phone over after unlocking it.
Morden just puts his phone number in there, puts the name as Leather Jacket Fuckboy, and hands
Jesus.
it back.
Well, now how's he gonna know which one it is?
Yeah, I was about to make the joke that it doesn't.
Looks at Levi, deletes it, just like pretty Leather Jacket Fuckboy.
I'm debating making the joke that both of those are already in Mezu's phone.
But either way, it'll be like some kind of variant on that, because obviously he's not going to put his real name in, but also something that's easy to find.
Yeah.
Packbat, don't call me out like this. And then Morden looks to Ali and is like, "You want it as well?"
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And hands over his phone. Like, I don't think I'll be attending the satanic meetings. I feel enough already.
No, but I don't think he puts the Leather Jacket Fuckboy into Ali's phone.
Save this child.
Yeah, I think it's just sort of like bad news boy. Just the OI on the end, as he appears to be the one telling Ali all this shit, but it's really upsetting.
Yeah.
I think it's at this point that somebody pokes their head in and is just like, "Hey, we've got the room in 5 minutes."
Yeah, okay. We'll have to wrap quick. The knitters, that like they're always armed is the thing.
You do not want to fuck with those knitting needles.
If only we had the crocheters so they could be, no.
No, I don't.
Crochet uses hooks.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so
my
it's like you
God.
can catch the needle. Like, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
like
with you.
you're a pirate and you're fancy.
How have you gotten this far in life?
That's just rude. I
have
thought you
really
were
good
just telling me
grades.
about how this is not this kind of meeting.
Okay, you're right. I hate that you're right, but you're right.
Mezu offers to
Uh-huh.
put his phone number into Allie's phone.
Allie will give you his phone. Like,
Mezu puts his name in as Hawaiian
Happy
Bear.
Mezu. Oh,
Precious will
Um,
offer, and if Allie accepts, Precious will enter his number under your twin.
aw, aw.
I think Mezu also
Morden
like
just
Mezu will offer his number to everybody. So
yeah, I'll take it. Morden gives Levi actually a legit business card.
Mhm.
And just like, look, people get into trouble when my number is in their phones if they're already romantically entangled. I just have a vibe.
Wow.
Takes
Mezu
the
Unless you
business
think
raises
card.
an eyebrow.
unless you think your partner would be interested, given that they clearly have a thing for like handsome guys in leather jackets.
Christ.
Levi gives Morden like a considering look and then takes the business card. What is it just Morden's name and number, or does it have like any kind of business information on it?
It does have business information on it. Like there's a handwritten like cell number on the back, but it is what is it he does? I think it's like gallery owner and like art dealer.
Word. Yeah, he'll take it and stick it in his wallet, but doesn't actually comment.
Doesn't need to. Wasn't satisfied. It wasn't refused. The foot's in the door.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so if anybody else accepts Precious's number, I will tell you what he enters his name as.
Oh, Mezu absolutely would. Mezu would be like, all right, let's trade phones.
Pink-haired Catboy.
Mezu puts the pineapple emoji and the bear emoji in Precious's phone.
Precious is already in Morden's phone, but I do need to know what it is.
God, it's honestly like this is probably before Precious really started getting cagey. So Precious's name is probably in Morden's phone.
Okay.
In Morden's phone, Mezu puts Big Werther's.
Mm. Allie will
Very
just
good.
text everyone his name once he has their phone numbers.
Allie goes down as sweet summer child in Morden's phone.
Oh,
Does Levi let Mezu put his number in his phone?
He
Yeah.
doesn't
Oh, sorry.
offer.
My bad.
Hmm?
Danielle, you're making me sad. Stop making me sad.
Mm.
If Levi doesn't offer, Mezu is going to also give Levi a business card because he's an old man.
Old men have business cards, right?
Yeah, they do.
Levi will also give Mezu a considering look and then take the business card.
Morden gives Mezzo a fist bump.
Fist bumps
Alright.
back.
The knitter pokes their head in again and says, "Hey, we need you to clear out."
Yeah. I'll put a fresh pot of coffee on.
The knitter gives a thumbs up.
Mezu laboriously standing up from his chair because you can just hear some joints pop as he does this. And he just like straightens his back and is like, all right. See everybody next week.
See you next week,
Next
Gramps.
He just gives Precious a smile. Like, don't call me that.
Looks to Ollie. No pressure to be here, but we will be.
Oh, okay.
Looks to Levi. Like I said, no pressure.
Levi kind of turns as he's walking towards the door. One hand in jacket pocket, other hand two-finger salute. And he heads out.
And that has been our first session of Does Anyone Remember Bob? I have been August. You can still find me on Twitter at HarpyDora. Playing with me today in reverse order has been Anya.
Still Anya, still not on Twitter. Bye.
Izzy has also been playing with us today.
Yeah, you can still find me on Twitter at the Sean Deer and Tumblr Lots of Deer. You can also find the podcast collective that I'm part of at Hearthside Enclave. And just find the podcasts there. They're both there.
And Jade.
Duxford is most places online. If you want to find me there, do so. You are welcome to come say hi and tell me that Morden is a fuck. I know, but I like hearing other people say it. It validates my choices.
They're good choices is the thing.
Don't encourage this.
Too late.
And of course, finally, but not leastily, Danielle.
I've been Danielle. You can continue to find me on the internet at Redtail Talk 90.
You can find the podcasting guild that most of us are in at Stones underscore standing on Twitter.
Nailed it.
Yep, I sure got it. I got there.
Fucking nailed it.
Yeah. So I think that's it. Everybody have a great rest of your Sunday. Good morning, good evening, good night, and we will see you again next week.
Stay spoopy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.